Hello. All right, let's get it. Keith McPherson here, joining you from WFAN, New York. All right, it's good enough to sound check this mic. Hello, everyone. All two of the people in here. Get this out of here. What is that? Okay. Let's get a couple more folks in here, and then I will go through the voicemails and see what you guys got to say, man. Someone recently compared me to this guy, Tony Page. Used to do overnights here. Black dude like me. WFAN. P.S. Savage says, can't wait till we see Kai. Tomorrow. We'll talk about it at the end of this pod. I got to get into it. Let's do it, man. All right. Don't matter who's watching. I got work to do. I'm on air at 7, and I want to get this podcast in by 6:45. Reholla 88. Jared, what up? Robert, appreciate you. Thank you. All right, let's do it. From the top here. Talkin Nets, episode 141, voicemail ep. We lose 3 games in a row in the most unimpressive fashion after riding high, after Kevin Durant won with some rookies, after James Harden came back and won 2 games in LA. We were feeling ourselves a little too much, and we got. We'll play all your voicemails. I think there's about 10 or 11 of them. Some of them had, a little bit too much profanity or things I didn't agree with. So, I always tell you I play 90% of the episode, 90% of the voicemails, and we'll do that on this episode. And then at the end, we'll talk about Kyrie. Talkin Nets. Let's get it. Yo, welcome back to Talkin Nets, episode 141. This isn't a regular episode. This is a voicemail episode. And honestly, if you're looking at our podcast, for our podcast listeners, not the people joining us on YouTube, the podcast got hit. As simple as I could put it, the whole John Boy Media account that hosts all of the podcasts got hit. So some of you that might be familiar with Talkin Baseball got hit, and it basically wiped our podcast out for the last few months. I think the last episode up there is episode 108, and that's from like October. So working on that, and here we are. Let's get right into the voicemails. There's no need to break down these 3 losses. There's no need to go through stats or box scores. This is just a vent session. This is a therapy session. You throw it away and you move on from it. And then number 11 steps on the court Wednesday night in Indiana, and scary hours are back upon us. So let's get it, all right? Without further ado, just going in order of how these came in. Some of them are longer than others. Try and keep the voicemails to a minute. If it's a little bit over, it's fine.
Yeah, calling in after watching this game. 3 losses in a row. Hot takes, I guess, but Steve Nash, he's going to be the reason why these guys, they waste their championship window. You have to, players play, players miss, they make shots, they have to make the plays out there, but you ultimately have to put them in a position to win, and he's currently not doing that. You had the rookies who more than proved themselves when everyone was in the protocol. But everyone comes back, they don't see the floor. He's running Durant and Harden into the ground. Patty Mills is cold. You got to put the guys out there. Put Cam Thomas out there. Help stretch the floor. He's not elite by any means, but he can create his own offense. Steve Nash, he just doesn't know what he's doing, and he's running out of time. If they don't do anything this year, they've got to pull the plug. All right, one.
Hey, in the chat, let me know how you feel about Steve Nash. I will tell you what I think. I was on BK Nets radio yesterday at halftime, and one of the things I said in my little quick interview with Capper was, yo, the Grizzlies unloaded their whole bench. We've only got 3 guys off our bench in the first half. What's up with all this talent? What's up with all the guys that we know can hoop? Get them going. Get them in the game. And I know we were only down 7 at half, so maybe it felt like we were in that game more. But I'm like, yo, what's up with the rookies and the guys that we know have just proved themselves in a couple games a couple weeks ago? What's up with getting them acclimated, or at least Cam Thomas should have been in that game sooner. So let me know in the chat what y'all think about Nash. What I'll say is this. Steve Nash is a player's coach. He's a former player. We all know him from being MVP, being a former player. That's how he got this job. His name, more so than his acumen, more so than his coaching resume. This is his first head coaching gig. Bro, being a former NBA player, he values veterans. Bro, going through the brotherhood of the NBA and understanding what it takes to be in the NBA, he has respect for these veterans that he's not gonna put the rookies in over these guys. He's gonna let the veterans play and get their minutes, at least for right now, as we're figuring stuff out. What I'll say about these last 3 games, we looked disconnected, we looked out of sorts, we looked low energy, and to me, that is because we're still figuring stuff out, right? We went from Kevin Durant and the kids, Kevin Durant playing with rookies, most of the team on COVID protocols, Kevin Durant out, James Harden back in, and now we're trying to figure it out now with both James Harden and Kevin Durant, and honestly, they haven't looked great together. Next voicemail. Nash, I'm not going to kill Nash because, he's ours. We went and got him. We went and put him there, and I know people kill Nash on the regular, so, I'm not going to kill him now. I feel like what he was doing last night was putting respect on the veterans, and he's going to learn. He's going to go away from that because you can't keep playing veteran players for the sake of playing them because they're veteran guys. They're experienced guys. If they can't score, they can't rebound, and they're not helping the team, they can't be there for long. It's just as simple as that. And Nash, he will adapt. I wish he could have adapted faster in game, but it is what it is. Next up on the Talkin Nets fan hotline.
Yo, why are these dudes still playing James Johnson and Bembry when you have Blake Griffin, Cam Thomas, Kessler Edwards, dudes that can, shoot the ball and space the floor? Just want to know you guys' take on that.
So, why is Nash playing James Johnson? I think there's another voicemail where someone asked about James Johnson, right? Let me find that. Because I think James Johnson has earned his minutes. He's earned his time. He's put in some valuable minutes and some valuable time, and they value him. He's a big. He's a veteran. He's also the blood sport guy on the team, right? He's supposed to be more the tough guy enforcer out there. I really don't have an answer for why he's getting so much run. I honestly didn't know too much of him before he came to the Nets, and I was never expecting him to get this much run. It's good when it's he comes in clutch when you need him, like the Knicks game. The Knicks game, he hit that shot at the end, free throws, whatever. But now that we figured out we have better players that are younger, this rotation definitely has to change, and it will. It definitely will. So yeah, what else did he say? Veterans, we got Blake, rookies. It isn't so much. it isn't so much guys versus guys yet. It's Nash's rotation versus Nash's rotation, and just what he feels right now. All right, let's play another one. Next up on the Talkin Nets fan hotline.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you guys, do you think Kevin's gonna help this team improve? Because, like, we're still not, like, the defense still not, like, improving. I mean, look at how the Grizzlies, like they killed us, like, at the rings. Like, you see how, like, guys like this, like Claxton wasn't able to stop Aquaman. Like, I was wondering, like, do you guys think it's gonna be possible, like, to get stops from big guys like Giannis, like Embiid? Like, I don't see it happening. We still need a big man to stop those guys to make it to the finals or to win the championship. But right now, I don't know. I'm hopefully that they could make some trades to get some big. But right.
Yeah, so the trade deadline approaches February 10th. In Marks we trust. I would almost guarantee you there will be some form of a trade, exchange, something done. There's too many guys on the team. And like the caller said, that worry that Nets fans have after losing to Embiid, after losing to Steven Adams last night and getting out-rebounded a ton, Giannis, right? The fear is that we don't have a true center. We don't have a true big that can hold it down in the paint against these guys. We are high on Nick Claxton because he's a center that can guard all positions and switch. But who is going to be crashing the boards? Who is the big body that's supposed to stop Giannis and Embiid? We don't have it. We don't have it. LaMarcus Aldridge being out yesterday was tough. He's a big body and a scorer that we definitely could have needed. But it isn't Blake. It isn't Claxton. It isn't LA either. The guy that's supposed to stop Giannis and Embiid isn't on this team. And I don't know if there's a guy out there that we could trade for, to be completely honest. But expect a trade. I expect Sean Marks to make some moves with guys on this team. I don't expect him to trade our rookies. But, you know, a guy like Paul Millsap to me who came in here, you know, I think he's a perfect example of a guy that's a veteran that expects to play because of his pedigree and that, you know, he took a leave of absence for a little while, you know, feeling like he could do that. But there's really not a place for him on this team. Next caller, what you got?
Yes, I'm calling. The Nets should play the rookies along with Kevin Durant. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like I don't know if the veteran players are tired, can't play, lost. But those rookies, along with Kevin Durant, they play so much better and have a lot of movement. They play defense. They get those balls. And I'm not saying not to play Patty Mills and Aldridge and Harden and Kyrie, but it seems like more of those younger veterans need to start playing in these games instead of putting in the same 5 players that's been in for the past 3-4 nights. And that's why they losing. And don't play Harden with Kevin, even though I know he's a top player too. But he's not the same player anymore. And he don't share the ball like he should, and he bounces too long. And I hope when Kyrie get in there, he just don't just be shooting the ball all the time, because I know he likes to hold the ball too. So, Nash, get it together. Get your team together. Speak up. Tell them, ball movement. Don't be bouncing the ball 100 times. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I wish you left your name. Appreciate it. Talking Nets, we got all kinds of fans. That sounded like a 55-year-old auntie or grandma from New York somewhere. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that auntie or grandma as far as, like, don't play Harden with KD. We have to. That's the whole point of this. That's why we got this big 3 together. They're going to figure it out. They'll be fine together. But the point that she said about playing Kevin Durant with the rookies, why can't there be some kind of rookie rotation where we do see KD out there with Kessler Edwards, with David Duke Jr., with Cam Thomas? Why not? Why not? And, Kyrie coming back, she said something about, Harden always needing the ball and Kyrie always needing the ball. And what did everybody say last year? There's only one ball. But I think Kyrie just changes everything. When you have him as an option on the floor, it changes everything. And I can't be too worried about Kyrie's return. And I can't be too worried about this team right now. There's too many good players, right? We have an embarrassment of riches. We have more good players than we can put on the floor. Steve Nash is a little bit of a worry for me, not going to lie. But he'll get better. He's got guys around him to help him get better. But as far as playing KD and the kids, yeah, there should be some kind of rotation to get them in. Get them on the floor with Kevin Durant. They look good against the Raptors and against the Magic. They lost that game, but they still look good. And then they beat the Sixers before that. So it's they gave us 3 solid games where we got to see that these guys can play. Why do we go away from that already?
Yo, what up, Keith? So I know you're probably going to get a bunch of voicemails now that are super negative. I'm just here to spread some positivity. This is what we do every year, man. We got one of these 3-game losing streaks. Everybody all concerned. We just didn't have it tonight. It was nice to hear Nash take some accountability after the game. A little hard-headed with the rotation. We're going to be fine. We're getting Kyrie back on Wednesday. Joe's coming back soon. Patty's going to go back to that second unit. It's going to look a lot fresher, a lot quicker, a lot faster. I'd love to see guys like David Duke get a lot more minutes. You'd like to see Cam Thomas get more minutes, and obviously, just a broader rotation. Get more guys in there, keep our guys fresh, play them less minutes, so we don't have nights like this where we're missing easy jumpers, and we take down teams like the Grizzlies. The only concerning thing about this game tonight is that stuff in the first 3 quarters is going to be on film for those good teams to watch for the rest of the year. But I think, we have the 3 guys that can overcome any film and any game plan, and I'm pretty confident in our chances. Let's go Nets, baby.
Let's go Nets. Appreciate the positivity and positive energy. We do this every year, Nets fans. I don't know if we did it much last year. I'm sure we lost 2 or 3 in a row at some point last year, but I'm talking about in the past. Nets fans forget our past so quickly. I know some of you aren't as familiar with it. I know some of you didn't have to go through it or live it. But for the Brooklyn Nets, for the New Jersey Nets, a 6-7 game losing streak is when we start to panic. 3-game losing streak, it's whatever. It's the NBA. There's 82 games. It's going to happen. Hit me up when we lose 7 or 8 in a row, which we're not going to do. We'll be just fine. Okay, next caller on the Talkin Nets fan hotline. You're on. What you got?
First of all, I don't know what Steve Nash is doing with these rotations. He has to stop playing James Johnson so much. Who even is that? But also us as Nets fans, we got to remember that we can't speak negativity into existence, because then all this negative shit, we keep saying that, we can't be surprised if that shit starts being reality. So we must, stay positive and all that shit.
Yes, thank you. Those are back-to-back calls. I'm sure those people don't know each other, but they both spoke about energy, positive energy, negative energy. The first caller said, let me bring some positive energy because I'm sure all these voicemails are negative. Most of them are, but they're not negative. This team sucks. We're not going to win anything. The second caller was talking about energy as far as our fan base. And let me say this to y'all as fans, especially the Nets fans online. The sky is not falling for us. Think about your position. Okay, we're not in first place anymore, but we're going to be jockeying for first place, second place the rest of the season. We have superstar talent. We have veteran depth. We have rookies that we drafted that are all NBA ready. They're all ready to play at the NBA level right now, halfway through the season. So you fans that go online and you want to bash Steve Nash, you want to say this team is a fraud, they're going to fail again, we're going to come up short again. Easy. Chill with that. Other fan bases want to see that. Other fan bases think anybody with a James Harden or Kevin Durant picture in their profile is a Nets fan. Anyone with a B logo is a Nets fan. You do represent all of us. So try and be positive. Try and have some type of confidence about the NBA and the landscape of the NBA and the team that we have. This is the best Nets team we've ever had. It's a long road. It's a long journey. Losing is a part of the journey. When this championship DVD comes out, they're going to talk about this stretch. The Nets lose the last game of the year and they lose their first game of the year, and then Kyrie Irving returns to help them on the road. Kevin Durant and James Harden look to find their chemistry with a gang of rookies that are itching to get their shot and a group of veterans that might be missing some time soon. Like right now, we're looking at guys like, not to throw Patty under the bus because he's been great, but those nights like last night where Patty goes cold, we need to figure out when Joe gets back, when Kyrie gets back, how to get Patty off the bench and him just be a microwave scorer. Always hot. Like him to come off the bench and hit threes and then go sit back down. Patty, I think, is tired. Patty has had to play a lot of minutes. Patty is one of the only guys that didn't hit COVID protocols. And we've asked him to do a lot. Some nights, Patty thrills. Some nights, Patty chills. And that's not a knock on Patty. It's the NBA. It's hard to be lights out every single night. Next up, 3-game losing streak, voicemail episode. Nets fan caller, what do you have?
Yo, what's up, Keith? This is D-Rock in Brooklyn. I have two thoughts. One, Kyrie becoming a part-time player, that's a step in the right direction. But until he declares he will get fully vaccinated, I refuse to get my hopes up that we're heading towards a championship. Two, we're on a 3-game losing streak. Unfortunately, it happens to the best teams in the league. But rebounding, that's an issue that will become a problem if Steve Nash and Sean Marks fail to address it. Got to throw athleticism in there as well. Athleticism is an issue right now that will become a bigger problem if Steve Nash and Sean Marks fails to address it. Is Nick Claxton really a rim protector? I don't think so. And if not, our rookies, if they become a real answer to these issues we face. Thank you.
Thank you. Good call. A couple points in there. Let's start with the Kyrie stuff first and the vaccination status. I have to disagree, caller. I'm sorry. This caller said until Kyrie declares he'll get fully vaccinated, I refuse to get my hopes up that we're heading towards a championship. Kyrie getting vaccinated has nothing to really like. All right, let's look at it like this. Kyrie is still not vaccinated. Some people will be listening to this pod Wednesday, January 5th. Some people will be listening to it tomorrow. If you're in the YouTube chat, you're watching me live right now, so let's say tomorrow. Tomorrow, Kyrie Irving re-enters the NBA unvaccinated. So the process has changed. The thought process has definitely changed, and the process of having him as a half-time, part-time player, that has changed, and it's going to keep evolving. I don't think Kyrie's going to get vaccinated. There's a ton of players in the NBA that got vaccinated, still tested positive for COVID, still hit the 10-day protocol, and still missed time. So what's the difference with Kyrie? Kyrie is unvaccinated. If he tests positive and has to sit out 10 days, it's the same thing as him being vaccinated and testing positive and having to sit out 10 days. Okay, they're going to reduce it to 5 now. But I'm telling y'all, as we are now in 2022, this whole thing is shifting and changing. I don't read too much news. I don't get too much into the COVID stuff. I did that last year when we literally had to. But from what I gather, this Omicron, whatever you call it, this variant that people are getting that's a cold, is the last stretch of it here. It's going to change. I'm not saying mandates are going to change, but the governor has started to pop up. Come on, Eric, help us out. Change something. The mandate might not change, but it could change, because if cases go down and they're seeing these cases are just people being sick, having a cold, like Kyrie can't play in Barclays Center, but we could have thousands of people back to chest to back in Times Square for New Year's Eve. It's going to change. I'm telling y'all. Those old takes people had, after all is said and done, much was said and nothing was done. Kyrie is back, unvaccinated, and he's going to hoop. And we'll see what happens about the state of New York. I read somewhere, and I got to find out if this is true. I'm going to put it on wax without knowing it's true. I read somewhere that all that would happen if Kyrie played, it's not like they could arrest him. There'd be a fine. And, if Kyrie was to play, where is it? I took a screenshot of it because it came from a Nets account. If Kyrie was to play, it says the Nets would only receive $80,000 in fines if Kyrie played the remaining home games. Now, I don't know how true that is. I'm going to actually do my research and find that. That was a screenshot from my phone because I'm like, find out if that's true. But if that is the case, 80,000, we talking about 80,000. They're not tripping off 80,000 to have that man come here and play, come here and hoop. So we'll see. Couple more calls.
Yo, shout out to you, Keith. I heard you on the fan earlier. I heard you, man. He's doing your thing. Listen, bro. The problem is Nash won't play his rookies. He drains the veterans out of energy, but playing them excessive minutes until they're damn near have no energy. And then he said, "Okay, rookies, go out there and show me what you got." But they deserve playing time because of Orlando Magic and the Toronto Raptors game. They deserve it. They earned it. And they could give longevity to the veterans on the Brooklyn Nets. I would love to speak to you further on the matter. I am big fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets blog, but it's the short of it. Because you said leave a short message. I'll call back later.
Yo, big fan Breezy. I got your other message too. Hit me up, bro. Hit me on the DM. Let me know, yo. We're getting this Talkin Nets thing together for the 2022. Hudson will be back. We're going to put a little bit of a street team crew together of Talkin Nets fans, and we're going to get it rolling. But, yeah, what you said about the rookies is 100% true. That's what I had just said. They proved that they're NBA ready. Cam Thomas has played a ton of minutes for a rookie in the NBA already. Throw him out. But David Duke Jr., his first game was the Rockets game on the road. Kessler Edwards, his first game was debuting with KD. Even Day'Ron Sharp has shown that he's ready to go. These guys should get time. And I know David Duke Jr. and Kessler Edwards are two ways, but these guys should get time. The Nets said that the reason that they brought Kyrie back was because of people's legs. We needed fresh bodies. We didn't want to run guys down. Well, those rookies sat on the bench the entire night last night until the fourth quarter when it was I guess Nash had to, but the game was over. And, of course, they gave us some energy. Of course, they started to bring us back, and it was too little too late. They're going to play these rookies, I guarantee you. These rookies have played themselves into the rotation. These old guys got to move. Iron sharpens iron. Competition brings out the best in people. Kyrie is back. Yeah, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. Next caller.
This is V Herbo from Brooklyn, bro. I don't know what the hell is going on with the Nets. Steve Nash, I think this man needs to be fired, retired, maybe sign an assistant head coach. I don't know. This shit is unacceptable. Stop playing veterans who have no offensive value. This is ridiculous. It's getting pitiful at this point. You cannot beat any teams over 500. I love you, Steve Nash, as a player, but you're a shit coach. You're a shit coach, too late. Brooklyn, we up next in for it.
Steve Nash is an okay coach. He's in his second year, and he's not even halfway through his second year. Your second year on the job, halfway through, you're not going to be an expert. I saw someone put in the chat, or is it My Holy King? No, where is it at? Steve Nash is the problem. The players don't respect him. I don't think that's true either. I think the players definitely respect him. He came over here because he was working with KD in Golden State, and then Kyrie already had a relationship with him. It's Steve Nash, yo. Respect, they have his respect. They might not respect his coaching acumen, his rotations, his timeouts, what he says in game, but they respect that man for who he is, and they respect that man for his basketball mind and what he's done. And I don't know, I want to say this before I play these last couple of voicemails. There was a thought that was put out there in the Nets Twitter Spaces last night. Brandon, Jay from BK, a couple other people in there, the usual suspects from Nets Twitter. And they were saying that Nash, the Nets don't care about these regular season games. Nash doesn't care about these regular season games as a former player that knows you could lose a game on January 3rd and it won't matter in the grand scheme of things. So what they're doing is anticipating Kyrie coming back. And now that KD and Harden are together, they are trying to figure out who can play with the big three all on the court together. Right? So who's going to be the 5? Who's going to be the 4 with KD at the 3, Kyrie at the 2, Harden at the 1. That was a thought put out there. It made sense to me, but it doesn't make sense if you're getting your ass kicked to just be out there experimenting and trying to figure out oh, yeah, Kyrie comes back Wednesday, so who's going to be on the court with Kyrie? Is it going to be James Johnson and Nick Claxton, or is it going to be Blake Griffin and DeAndre Bembry? Nah. Win games, especially on our home floor where we seem to lose a lot of games. And it's not cool, and it's not a good look. Quick one.
Just calling in to say, love the pod, and what do you think the Nets have to do to get back on a win track?
They got to take this shit seriously, yo. They got to take this shit dead-ass serious. The energy out there was low. We started slow again. We started slow in the beginning of the year. That's what we used to say about the Nets last year. And then we got away from that. We started early some games. And now we're back to starting slow, feeling it out, and then teams get a full head of steam on us, get a full lead on us, 10-point lead on us, and it's you're playing from behind, and then you're expecting KD to come through with the heroics, and now KD's got to drop 40, and Harden is pressing, and he's turning the ball over, and we're all out of sorts because Patty can't hit a shot, and we need offense, and you're not going to get that offense out of DeAndre Bembry or James Johnson or Blake Griffin. Claxton, I've been proud of. I'm so glad that man is back in shape, can play all these minutes now, and has shown off his offensive bag some. But yeah, what the Nets need to do to get back on track is to take the rest of this shit dead serious. Kyrie is back tomorrow. Okay, boom, we got our full team. It's go time. You flexed and you hit the Kyrie button to put the league on notice. Okay, now go out there and put on a show. Last voicemail, then I got to get ready for WFAN. New York.
Yo, this is Aaron. How you doing? I just wanted to say, love it what you guys are doing. But I will tell you, very, very simple. You got to play Edwards more, and you need to trade Joe Harris, Claxton for Jeremy Grant. Bring Isaiah Thomas, make some moves, get rid of Johnson.
What?
Play Bembry, don't play Johnson.
Bro, you lost me with the bring in Isaiah Thomas. You also lost me with the trade Joe Harris and Nick Claxton. That's clearly someone that's not a Nets fan. Area code 305, maybe a Miami Heat fan. And dead giveaway in the beginning, they said, what y'all are doing. Not we, not us. As a fan, I say we, I say us, Nets world. I've been taught here as a broadcaster, well, not taught here, but I've been paying attention here, and as a broadcaster on the radio, you're supposed to be, even-keeled, where you refer to the Nets as the Nets or them. I'm always on air like we, us, Nets, because I'm in the Nets world, baby, and I'm trying to win a chip, bro, for Jersey, for Brooklyn, for the city. All right, that's all I've got. Thank you for calling. Thanks for leaving the voicemails. First off, those are fun, and we want to be able to have those reaction-type episodes when it's time to react, like a 3-game losing streak. You get great reaction, so call the voicemail, 201-870-0461. Also, follow us and subscribe. If you're in the chat right now, appreciate y'all in the chat. Hit like. Make sure you're subscribed. We are 30 subscribers away from being monetized, and once we're monetized, we just are more legit. You guys can throw money in the chat. It just makes us look better. We've worked hard. Myself, Hudson, for the last 3 years, 2019, 2020, 21, now it's 2022. We've built this thing up. Follow us on Twitch. That's brand new, just started. Follow us on Facebook if you're on there. Obviously, most of you follow our Twitter and our Instagram. Just support Talkin Nets. I have carried us through this stretch from last year to this year, but things are about to shape up and get going for this push the next 6 months until the finals. Please come along for the ride. Please be on board. Please rep Talkin Nets and let a friend know that this is the best podcast for Nets fans. That simple. Write a subscription. Subscribe to the pod and leave a review. Write a review. Let's see. I haven't checked the reviews in a long time. There probably is not a new one, but we need new ones because the last one was from June after we lost, and that was super weak. And I know they changed Apple up now. I'm like trying to find it. I can't even find it. I can't even find it, and I know they messed up the episode. So leave us a review. We need reviews because as we're talking to different brands, companies, potential guests, they check Apple and they see how many reviews you have. We have a good amount, I think. I don't know how to get it. They changed this in Apple. I don't even know how to get it up. We have a good amount, but we need some newer ones. We need some refreshed ones. Also, I saw someone say they needed this hoodie. This Nets World hoodie is still available. Shop.johnboymedia.com. All of the Talkin Nets merch that I came up with last year is still on shop.johnboymedia.com. You can go there and get it while supplies last. We are not under John Boy Media anymore, moving the brand most likely to Odyssey, where I work now, bringing Hudson back to co-host the pod. Then we'll start really getting guests. Then we'll start really getting into the games every 2 games. Then you'll get more updates on Instagram, on Twitter. And then the people that I reached out to be a part of like Talkin Nets Street Team, I will give you guys each things to do, assignments to do, whatever. And we will roll and we will cover the Nets until we get to the parade. And then we'll see what happens in the summer. But that's all I've got. Obviously, my name is Keith. Appreciate you guys so much, Nets fans. It's tough when you lose, but it's part of the journey. It's part of this championship DVD. When the DVD comes out, they're going to talk about this time, December and January, the highs, the lows, Kyrie coming back, and that's what I want to leave this podcast. Kyrie is back. Kyrie is back. 11 is back. The team is complete. Well, Joe Harris will make the team complete, but the big 3 is complete. Scary hours are back upon us, and fret not. Let me see. I see a nerd in the chat. Steve Nash is trash. Won't be no parade, bro. See, the thing is, right, Steve Nash isn't so trash that our team can't go out there and make up for some of his shortcomings or make up for some of his lack of experience. I'm not in this trash Steve Nash camp. Anybody that's watched Talkin Nets or listened to Talkin Nets knows that I don't kill Nash. Last year was a little frustrating with things at times, but I realized in Marks we trust. This organization wouldn't have put that man in that position if he wasn't the right man for the job. He's got to learn some things still. He's working on these rotations. They're a work in progress. We'll be fine. All right, that's all I've got. I will be on air at WFAN all night tonight, 7 p.m. to midnight. It's the 5-hour marathon, Flight 66. Just me, Dolo, no co-host. But I'll probably talk about the Giants, crush them again like we do all day, every day. Talk about the Jets a little bit. I miss baseball, wish baseball was back, but then we'll obviously get to the talk around the Nets and the Knicks. The Knicks play tonight. So if you're not doing anything and you want to listen to some sports talk on the radio, call in and I'll be there. Other than that, Talkin Nets, we'll see you after the next couple games. And big things on the way in this new year, 2022. I'm excited about it. So thanks for watching in. Hit like, subscribe, support us everywhere, and we'll be back soon. Let's go Nets. Let's go Nets. Brooklyn.